start. No evidence, no witnesses, except admitted liars. Only a racially charged atmosphere, which was fanned by the police and the prosecutors, who knew the truth and distorted it and subverted it and destroyed it to convict an innocent man.
What more can the state of New Jersey do, Your Honor, than give a man not one, but 2 jury trials? And nothing has changed since then. Mr. Carter is, and always has been, a menace to society. He's been in and out of jail his whole life. A criminal. He's a violent man. His whole life has been violence. And it is our duty, Your Honor, to continue to protect the general public from such a man. Thank you.
I've heard your statements. I'll take them under consideration. Now, is there anything else that counsel wishes to add before I make my final ruling?
What do you want to say something? What do you want to need to say something?
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Carter, wishes to address the court.
Request granted.
Thank you. I was a prize fighter. My job was to take all the hatred and skill that I could muster and send a man to his destruction. And I did that. But Reuben Hurricane Carter is no murderer. 20 years I spent locked up in a cage, considered a danger to society. Not treated like a human being, not treated like a person. Counted 15 times a day. I served my time in a house of justice, and yet there's no justice for me.
I'd like to start with all praise and honor and glory given unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Kodash. Double honors are being given on to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, men who have labored and suffered in this truth for over 30 years, out on the highways and byways, making videos week in and week out, making their lives and their bodies a living sacrifice. Like I said, Shalom to all the Akim of GMS, sincerely doing the work week in and week out on the highways and edges. I'd like to say Shalom to all the various Akim that are on the highways and edges, sincerely doing the work, 100% of the truth, walking in one step, one spirit in Yahweh Shai, not named GMS. To you I say Shalom. Just a quick one. I can just a quick one. Follow up on that video about judgment. You know, look out, the wicked. Judgment is coming. It was just an old movie clip that I run across here, played by Denzel Washington, Reuben Hurricane. As I can remember, you know, he was falsely imprisoned for a murder he did not commit. And having said that, you know, there'd be a lot of Akim, or Slaki, there'd be a lot of Jake that had been falsely imprisoned. But ultimately, we know it's the work of the Lord. He does all things, and through all men, he makes the scriptures be alive, come true. But nevertheless, we're going to focus on this lying devil, so-called white man. Because right now he's in rulership because he was sought up by the Most High. He was sought up. But you know, it was just like the defense lawyer just spoken. You know, hey, you know, there were lies told by the police. You know, truths that was not brought to the light. You know, it was just a straight up frame. They framed the man. And the sad part about it is that the defense, the prosecution, and ultimately the justice system, being the judge representing the head of that, they all knew it. And they sit here and go through these theatrics, through this enchantment, to pull the strings of the people who are watching the show, so that you may have hope that there may be some change. But there will be no change until Yahweh Shai is sent back here by way of his father, Yahweh. There'll be no changes. And until then, this man is going to be a slanderous liar. What he was made out to be. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord created everything for himself, roughly paraphrased. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. And until the Lord come back and straighten all this madness, this man will do evil. He will lie, knowing the full truth, ignoring facts and evidence along the way, blatantly. He just don't give a damn. But I'm going to stop rambling and pull out a few precepts, and I'm going to close out. This is Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 18, and it just goes straight to the point, and it reads, he that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that untruthfully slanders is a fool. And that's just what Esau does. He hides his hatred with lying lips. That's what the justice system is all about. The so-called justice system is all about. It's set up to free them and to incarcerate you. Thus the scriptures say, Proverbs 10 and 18, he that hideth hatred, his hatred for you. These cops, these law officials, these DAs, you know, and sometimes it be Jake that be on their team, you know what I'm saying, a district attorney or a U.S. attorney or whatever the case may be. They're all in the same boat because you can't get those positions unless you've been vetted and known. You're going to be known to do as they ask, as they tell you. So this goes for 2/3 as well. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that untruthfully slander is a fool. And ultimately Esau is a fool because, see, he thinks that in the end, when it's all said and done, he'll be sitting atop of everything. It'll be a new world order, and he'll be the head honcho, sitting at the master seat. And Akim, that's a goddamn foolish thought there. But we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep it right on rolling. We're going to roll to Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1, verse 29, and it reads, it says, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malice, whispers, backbiters, haters of power of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Now we know that it was Paul that was speaking, you know, to the lost, to the ones that were calling themselves Romans at the time during the Roman rule. But this verse could be applied today in today's present atmosphere. because all that describes Esau and the 2/3. We're going to read it one more again. It says, this is Romans 1 and verse 29 through 30. Through 31, and it reads, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliceness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malulent, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. You know what? We're going to read 32. Just to top that off. Verse 32. Who knowing the judgments of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Esau gets a kick out of it. You seen that? If you watch that video, look out, judgment is coming. Look out, the wicked judgment is coming. You know, it was a police seminar where they had this speaker come in and he speaks. You know, he makes about 200 or 300 speeches throughout the year. They have him booked year round, and he was telling them how to not to be down. Don't feel bad about killing someone. You know what I'm talking about taking another human being's life. His words, not mine. So ultimately, Esau take pleasure in these things. And ultimately, you 2/3 Jakes do too. To back this man up with this pervertness. You know what? We're gonna grab a couple more. We're gonna get up out of here. We're going to go to Proverbs. Let's see, we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 12. Yep. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 12. And straight to the point. Verse 22, and it reads, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but they that deal truthfully are his delight. Let's read that one more again. Proverbs 12 and 22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but they that deal truthfully are his delight. And that word abomination goes into disgusted and hated. And these vile acts that Esau Edom, so-called white man, pulled, framing, lying, slandering his brother, because ultimately we are his brother. You know, Most High hate him for that. And that's why you have Romans 9 and 13. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Most High hate this devil. And 2/3 of our own people as well. Because you just soon just sell your brother down the river for this weak ass malnutrition, leper. We're going to get one more strip and we're going to get up out of here. We ain't going to make this long at all. We ain't going to make this long at all. Let's see, we're going to get, what it is, 1 Peter. We're going to get 1 Peter. Let's get it, huh? We'll get 1 Peter. Chapter 2. And verse 12. And it reads, it says, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles that were as they were slacking. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, that they may be your good works which they shall behold, glorifying God in the day of visitation. Let's read that one more time. This is 1 Peter 2 and 12, because that was chopped up. And it reads, it says, having conversation honest amongst the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may, by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation. And that goes to the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Because see, ultimately in the end, this Bible, this living water, is going to be deemed as hate speech. You understand? It's going to be deemed as hate speech. They're already trying to box you in. You know, you're speaking against people who have alternative lifestyles. These LGBT communities. You know, but you bring forth the facts, and they're going to label that as hate speech. And they're going to label you as evildoers. But by your works, by the works, the highways and hedges, going out week in and week out, bringing forth this truth, trying to sift out, putting out this word so that the Lord can sift out that 1/3, that remnants, that still may be out there, that the Lord, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, may be glorified in the day of visitation. You'll be glorified in that time. Lord willing, you'll be glorified in that time. But I'm not going to keep this long. It was just something that was on my mind. Just to back up the last video I put up, you know, Esau, Edom, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, and the rest of you heathens. No one will go unpunished. And to the 1/3 to the nation of Israel, that innumerable number, the hopeful elect, the remnant, steadfast, hold to that which is good. Shalom.